It's not what I expected to see at this particular depth contour.
Something shiny up ahead.
I also haven't read the event log for the last half hour, so if it's in there, I apologize.
That's definitely too far away, but I'll get this. And then,
so this sponge, I think it's quite similar to the one that we got close to just a few minutes ago. This is the front side, and now that I can see it better, I'm virtually positive this is a Semperella. It's in the family Pheronematidae. They're known to inhabit sediment type of substrates, and one of their rather poor diagnostic features is they have two atrial surfaces, which are those two sort of scooped out areas, maybe even three of them, but they have more than one on one side. So it was a little bit shaky what it was that previous one, but now that we see the other side, then I'm pretty certain of the ID.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. So if we've already imaged this one and we just kicked up some dust, maybe we should just keep moving? Actually, it's probably a good question to ask of the nav and pilots because we haven't been on the line. How are we doing in terms of movement?
Try and do a over here at the end of my tether.
You are full one.
Washley, thank you. Washley, can you repeat your last question to nav?
Yeah, I was just wondering how we were progressing.
In terms of what, Washley?
Distance, time.
Since the beginning of the dive?
Yeah. Or? Like, are we moving slowly? Have we been stopping a lot for
we've been moving pretty good during that live.
Good. Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, we weren't taking samples at all during that, so we were actually doing pretty well.
Perfect.
Pretty much continuous moves.
Awesome. Thank you.
Center screen. Floating. Dark. Immediately above lasers.
A little dark shrimp
to the right of lasers.
Yeah, I see him.
Okay.
Okay, you can go into video.
This may have been the same fish we were looking for just a minute ago.
If we can get his head.
Watchley, nav.
Yeah, I'll keep creeping closer.
Yes.
Currently, we're moving to position Sirius. Do you have high pack in front of you?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Right where the cursor is, we're trying to hit that little bit of bathymetry.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling that once we get there, we may want to just move on, depending on if it still looks like this.
Copy.
We might move on.
Yeah, we're making larger moves, so we're moving faster over this terrain.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yep.
Now, when was the ship move? When did that start?
Co-pilot, that ship move was at 4 minutes ago, just about 5.
Perfect.
So, shore-based scientists, what was the best thing that I just missed in the last half hour?
I'm in here, Deb. I think maybe what we're looking at is volcaniclastics. And I'm hoping that once we get to the top of this hill, there may be a depression.
I don't think it's
active.
Pilots, I want to bring Caitlin into the video chair.
It sure looks like volcaniclastic material. When we first
I want to zoom my sonar out
this type
to
of
50.
stuff, there was a lot more of the dark material than we're seeing in sediment right now. So,
Sonar's
not
at
exactly
50.
sure what that means, but I'm wondering if you folks have access to the Slater Mouth bathymetry, and there's a closed contour at the top of the hill that the ROV is headed for.
Yep.
It would be interesting to know if that's
It's like a little mound.
Or a little, summit knoll.
I can ask Nav whether that's whether that little closed contour is a depression or a mound. I'm not sure which one it is, but it is where we're heading right now. Nav, can I ask a question?
Right.
Go ahead,
Thanks,
Watchley.
Jeff. Yeah, there's just
That little
an
closed
awful lot of
contour that's on the
volcanic,
flat spot, is that like higher or
really
lower?
is, but there's
Higher.
stuff in-
Higher? Okay, thanks. So Patty, if you're looking at the high pack right now, the navigation display, the little closed contour that the cursor is on is actually it's a little higher. It's not a depression.
Okay, thank you.
This is really fascinating, though. No, I haven't seen it. Pilot, do you happen to see a holotherian somewhere in view?
I do not at the moment, but if you see it at all,
Yeah.
feel free to shout out.
Some of our scientists are saying they saw some, but I don't
But we
actually
can't
see one
see it.
yet, so don't worry for now.
Copy that.
I was just...
There's a black stalk in front of us.
Can we just take a look at that black thing sticking out of the sediment in the middle of the screen, if we get a chance?
Absolutely. Video I'm just going to set up real quick.
Thanks, Carl. Oh, that's Sean? Oh, thanks, Sean.
Sorry, we did a quick switch.
Sorry, I missed that part.
All right.
Yeah, we just switched like 30 seconds ago.
All right, video, if you want to
I was out there changing my shirt. Everybody's moving around. I'm so confused.
Can we zoom in on the end of that? No, it doesn't look dead.
I think it's a worm of some kind.
I think it is a worm as well. So usually... Can we get any more zoom than that? So you can see there are hydroids growing on the tube. And this is probably some kind of polychaete worm. Usually sabellids have tubes like this that they've constructed using material they find on the floor around where they live.
Thank you, Bridge.
It could also be a Ketopterid. I'm not sure.
Co-pilot Nav.
There's just not enough on show. I'm going to
ahead,
assume
Nav.
that what is dangling
So
out of
the
it
ship moves
is
complete,
sort of covered in
and it
mucus,
looks
and
like
it
this
basically traps particles of that, and
bathymetry is
then
still
we'll
pretty
reel
flat.
it in
Do we want to go
and
ahead and
eat
issue
everything on
another
it,
one?
and then extend it again.
Let's give it a little time. You can, if you look at my sonar,
Yep.
it is kind of rising more to my starboard, which I guess agrees with HIPAC. See, there's that feature out
Oh,
there.
yep, gotcha.
Just wondering.
So that would be,
Want any more views of this?
Be like 120 or something, I think.
yeah.
Which is about, that agrees kind of with HIPAC. So, but we could ignore it and just head for that local high. If I'd be okay with that.
Okay.
But let's let Sirius move a bit more, see if it, see how it evolves.
Copy that.
Video's clear.
Okay, that is great, Pilot. You can move on whenever you're ready.
All right, thank you, Watch Leads. Yeah, video. You can come out.
So if you're just joining us here on this Okeanos dive number 6, we are on Finanagu Caldera C, which is a volcanic caldera in the middle of a chain of about 6 or 7 calderas, which extend from a north to south or south to north direction.
Now, were we going 085?
And the one which we're investigating is sort of smack in the middle of that chain.
Okay.
And we guess that the most southerly are the oldest and the most northerly are the newest. And so we're investigating over from yesterday to tomorrow 3 of the calderas that we think are going to be different in ages. So yesterday we think was the oldest. This is sort of the middle-aged one. And then we're going to go on to the youngest tomorrow. And basically we want to see whether the geology changes in this area because of that progression in age, and also whether that affects the biology and whether we see any changes in biological communities. Right now we are at a depth of 2,695 meters, and we have just over 3 hours left on the seafloor.
So Nav, how long ago did the ship stop?
The ship stopped about 4 minutes ago.
Okay. So I'm definitely moving now.
Oh, you are moving now?
Should be.
Okay, so then you should settle out pretty soon.
Well, it was a 50-meter move, though, right?
That's right.
So it'd take a little longer. But yeah, I'd be comfortable if Sean's comfortable with.
Could you just swing by that white thing that's sort of sticking up on the upper right?
You okay with the move, pilot?
Yeah.
Copy that. So we'll do another one of the same 50 meters, 085 degrees. Does that sound good?
Yeah, how far away is that bump now?
$175 meters.
Nice. Yeah, sounds good.
Bridge, Nav.
It's the bridge. Go ahead.
Bridge, I'd like to request a 50 meter move, bearing 085 degrees.
If you want to come in.
Speed 0.2 knots.
50 meters, 085 degrees,
Okay, so this is
0
like
decimal 2
Phrayostera
knots.
brisingid,
Good copy, Bridge.
which is a
Coming
type
up.
of sea
Thank
star.
you.
And we know it's Phrayostera because it has 6 arms and is sort of a light pink color. And again, this is a suspension feeder. You can see the sort of pinnules coming off of the arms, and it uses those to catch food from the water column, and that's why it sort of has its arms extended into the water column up above its body. And so that's so it can catch as much food as possible and basically have lunch.
So yeah, it's lunchtime for the brisingid.
I mean, I feel like they're always eating. We did see a really tired one
on you for
a couple
a second
dives
for video.
ago.
Shouldn't
We've
affect
just
anything.
kind of had them slump by
Bridge,
outside.
move initiated.
Thank you, Bridge.
Cool. All right, now I'm going back to 085.
Copy that. Yeah, video whenever you're ready.
Okay, pilot, I'm face 085. If you want to get centered and push ahead, we're in the middle of a 100-meter move. It's good to stay ahead. And then if you have to stop, you'll have some time.
Copy that.
So we're still in that field of what Patty has described as probably being volcanic plastics. We're going to keep on moving and see if we can either reach the top of this where maybe there was a vent.
It's definitely steeper off to my starboard side, but we're going to ignore that to try to get there.
Or maybe we'll just move into a different part of the landscape.
Yeah, Deb, I think we're approaching some rocks here, right in front and on the left side.
Yes, I think you're right.
Darker patches.
If we believe the bathymetry, we should hit a much deeper part in about 50, maybe at the end of this move.
Thanks, Nav. I'm not sure we do believe the bathymetry. Do you?
Washley, do you want to zoom in on these rocks?
Sure.
Nope, just different colors.
It leaves some
whatever
mysteries.
stuff.
Different colored stuff. Was that how you described it? Different colored stuff.
Yeah, that's a technical term.
Thanks for the zoom in. Are we still on the move, or?
The ship is moving. I'm just going to pause video.
Hanging out.
Do you want to do a quick zoom? Yeah, Washley, we are in the middle of a 100
Well,
meter
it looks
wave,
like there's a spot
Okay, great.
up there above this area. But wow, that's a real good look at the stuff on the seafloor. Stuff it is. Certainly looks like small fragments of volcanic plastic to me.
It really does. I agree with you. Sort of a sedimented volcanic plastic landscape.
All right, video. I think we're good when you want to come out.
Yeah, Chris was asking if it could just be manganese, but I think it's so angular that that may be unlikely.
Chris Kelly?
Thank you very much for the close-up. That really helps to try to identify what this stuff is.
So pilots, as usual, and video, as usual, the shoreside scientists are exceptionally happy with you.
Can we snap zoom on that animal, please?
Absolutely.
Not rock.
Video, do you want to come in? Oh, actually, 1 sec, video. Let me set up a little better.
Is that little round thing on the left-hand side biological?
Oh, maybe. Can
Well,
we?
sure,
Oh,
do-
wait. Can we pan left for a second? And yeah,
Yeah.
look at that. I didn't even see that. Thanks, Patty.
Anything to oblige. Thank you for the 3 rocks yesterday.
All right,
I think
video.
she might be aiming for
Snap
3
zoom?
rocks today
I know,
again.
Yeah.
What is that?
Okay, so I think that's a sponge.
A really dirty sponge?
Pretty much. Pretty much. Shirley, Chris, do you concur?
We're still collating.
I mean, it's either going to be sponge, tunicate, or holothurian, and I don't think it's either of the latter.
That's not bad, so we've got it to Animalia now. I
Biology
have
jokes.
no idea what this is.
Okay, and neither does Shirley.
It's possible it's a holothuroidian. There are species of holothuroidians that actually gather sediment and debris.
No, but those are longer, Chris.
I've never seen one that looks like this, though.
They're not this sort of shape. They're longer and aren't as transparent as this. Like, you can almost see the rock through it. No. No, we
Yeah,
don't want to try poking it.
Can we
Set a
poke
loose
it? Can we poke it with the manipulator on it?
No, geologist, that is not okay. Was that Shirley? I feel
Alright,
like,
you've
you know,
got
when you go scuba diving,
couple
they
more
tell you
minutes.
don't touch.
Pilot,
That's pretty much the same thing going on here.
Shirley, that was
Starting
you
to
asking to
move.
poke it, right?
Chris, do you want to poke it? I mean, I feel like we shouldn't. I feel like that's antagonizing something.
No, that was
You're
definitely
starting to
Shirley
move,
asking to
co-pilot?
poke the. That
Alright,
is not a
I'm
geologist asking
starting
to poke it.
to approach the ground on my starboard side.
Yeah, I thought so.
Hey, Washley, Sirius is starting to move. If you want to look at the other things, we might have to move on soon.
See, we're trying to answer a science question here, Diva.
Can't we
by
just
poking
thrust
it.
at it really hard?
I think
What about
that
a high T probe? You
would ruin
can
visibility.
poke it with that.
Yeah, it might kick up a lot of dust, Washley.
I'm sorry, what?
No, he was saying if we thrust at it, it'll kick up a lot of dust. I think we should just move on. And this will remain a mystery of the deep.
Wow.
What were we going to look at before? I think a sponge in the right
yes,
side or something?
right.
Yeah.
Nav bridge move complete.
All right, video.
Thank you, Bridge.
Come in on this white item.
Chris, I think I have to agree with your ID. I mean, I
Co-pilot,
still
so
think
the
it's a
ship
sponge.
just stopped
Obviously, I'm not a
moving.
sponge taxonomist, but I definitely don't think it's a holothurian. What's this? Okay, so this
What is that? Oh,
a
that's pretty.
beautiful coral with an
a brittle star?
ophiuroid. Yes, a brittle star, exactly. Oh no! Oh no!
No?
Wait,
Yeah.
no. So I'm very wrong. It's not a coral. It's
But it is a brittle star.
no,
No?
it's a penatulid.
It's definitely a coral. It's
Nope,
not
it's a coral.
You
Okay.
can see the pinnate tentacles.
Right. Oh, they're beautiful.
So I was right first. So it's a coral with an ophiuroid living on it as
Moving.
a commensal.
Look at that.
I feel like this ophiuroid is a little bit too big for this coral.
Yeah, it does kind of seem like it may be trying to take over.
Pilot, I'm looking straight down at you. You can finish the shot for 30 seconds or so, then you'll have to jet ahead.
Copy that.
So if this is
Watch,
an
we don't have to push
icidid or
out in a few
bamboo
seconds.
coral, this is a really weird one. I don't know what we're looking at. It could be some type of a sea pen also. That's a
Do
possibility.
you want to drop a target in case they want to come back to look at it?
We'll do, co-pilot.
All right, Washley's off to push out. Sirius is starting to get ahead of me.
Okay, thanks for letting us know.
No problem. Video, come up, please.
So, shore-based scientists, we did see that you might have been interested in collecting this, but unfortunately, we need to move on to make to stay up with the ship and with Sirius. So, we're very sorry about that.
Yeah, Washley, if you wanted to collect that, we would just have to move the ship back, and it would be a big time.
No, I think it's okay, Sean. Don't worry.
Okay, copy that.
Yeah, we had put in a 100-meter move expecting just to see sediment, but you never know.
So on that note,
Interesting
the
that
move's
as
complete.
we
So let's see a
approach
fast one,
nearer to the
Sean.
summit, that we're seeing a lot more
Drive
of
to
these
center
darker patches of
really
larger
fast and then
fragments.
ahead.
Let's see what we see when we get up there.
Been so fast before.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Patty, and you're right. We're starting to see more actual small rock-sized fragments as
It's
well.
pretty
It seems
good.
like.
You're at 40%. I've seen faster. 36%.
Not to be mean to the geology, but I have to say I like the pillow basalts better.
I'm gonna agree with you there as well.
Okay, I'm coming up. %. No. Okay, you can straighten out now to my heading and go for it.
All right. Still don't see much.
So yeah, you're down. Keep going fast there.
Oh, sorry.
So for the folks at home and at our ECCs, we're still just moving our way upslope. We are at 2685 right now. And we're interested to see what will happen when we hit this next actually very flat contour that's coming up in stream 3 of the high pack. You can see it.
Yeah, pilots, on that note, do we want to maybe issue another 100 meter? That'll get us pretty close.
How long ago did the ship stop?
The ship stopped 4 minutes ago.
It's a tough call.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a lot on sonar.
Yeah. We saw what happened with that sample when you put in 100 meter moves.
If you did 50.
Yeah, let's do a 50.
50?
Copy. Bridge, nav.
I think my Z bias is adjusted.
This is the bridge. Go ahead.
Bridge, I'd like to request a 50 meter move, bearing 085 degrees, speed 0.2 knots.
50 meters, 085 degrees, 0.2 knots.
Good copy, Bridge.
Coming up.
Thank you.
So nav and pilots, when we have a chance, we would like to try and move out of this area because it's not very satisfying biologically or geologically. So, yeah, a ship's move and sort of pacing along would be great.
Yeah, I think
we
rather
just
than
called
moving
the
around,
ship
just
move
moving
then, wash
through.
leads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically, we want to traverse this area as quickly as possible.
right, exactly.
Copy that.
Just a comment, I'm just thinking about that that flat area that we're approaching, and as we are looking at an awful lot of volcanic class material.
Nav bridge,
I'm
move
thinking
initiated.
That, you know, around
Thank you,
the
Bridge.
edges of
So pilot,
caldera,
you're kind of
particularly
taking
at
off
the
on
base
my
of caldera
upper
walls
starboard side
often,
there.
and these types of volcanoes, you get
Port laterals.
Yeah.
secondary eruptive locations where, in this case, maybe volcanic clastics were erupting out. Alternatively, of course,
Kind of while you're waiting on
this
flat
may
terrain
be
like this.
the result of a
Oh, did your
slump
sonar
of
stop?
material down the caldera wall.
It
The fact that
does
we've
look
been
like it's
seeing
stopped.
material of the same size,
Maybe just
pretty
while you're
much,
editing.
and composition.
I
it
don't know.
looks
I'll
like.
cycle the
I'm
power, make a
guessing
note.
this might be locally sourced, and it might have been an area where there was eruption.
Anyway, I was going to say it's kind of fun
a
to
fracture that
do
is
some
connected with the
slow
formation of
zigzags
the
in my
caldera
screen
wall,
and look at your sonar
where
and
you
see
can see we're approaching
if you can find unique
contours
corals like
that
we
are
just
closer
saw or
together
random
and
rocks.
therefore
Or,
steeper terrain. That's just a guess.
And I think, Patty, I
And,
think that's great.
on days
because
when we're actually
I heard
searching
two different
for
things in there, and that
hydrothermal
one is
vents
that it
or
would be an eruptive feature,
methane
volcanic
seeps.
plastics, and the other is that it could be a mass wasting event.
That's
is that
kind of our
correct?
SOP.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
what I was
Okay,
wondering
did you
about.
say?
Yeah, and
I think if once we get to the top of this thing, if we cross over it, then we should be able to tell whether it's sourced from the top of this local hill, or whether
did you say
there is
anything?
some indication that there's more of the same sort
There
of
was a
material
holotherian that we passed
Can we
over.
just snap zoom
is
on
it-
that shrimp, please?
excellent. Thanks a lot, Patty.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
That was when I first saw the contour. My first
It
thought
was
was, I
white.
wonder if that's a little mass wasting area. But it'll be really interesting to see.
You might have
But
lost it, but yeah.
what we were thinking about with the ROV pilots, Diva and I were both thinking that we could traverse this, kind of more quickly than perhaps we've done our dives
Now,
in the
I don't
past.
see the
because it's not
co-pilot
very
log.
kind
Would
of
you just
barren
make a note
for
that
biology.
the sonar froze and I had to restart the software?
Copy that.
Oh, actually I found it, Nav. Well, we'll double note it.
So it's just D2, right? Because Sirius is still scanning.
Yeah.
Hi guys, I finally made it in. I feel like I jinxed this because when I wasn't on, you had these beautiful pillows. And as soon as I started watching, it got boring.
Well, Bob, we didn't want to say anything, but I have to say you missed some really fantastic geology right at the beginning of this dive. You'll probably want to go back and replay it again.
Yeah, I saw it real quickly. But hopefully it'll come back as we get higher.
And actually, Bob, something that we should chat about briefly is that we changed the dive track a little bit.
Yeah,
we talked about it on the event log as we were reaching the bottom.
Dust, yeah.
When we looked
Pretend
more
it never
carefully
happened.
at the dive track that we had picked, it sort of went up the wall at an oblique angle, and the ROV pilots don't really like to traverse
see,
that type of angle.
You can,
And so what we did
you
was
can
we
adjust
shifted it
how
to be
often
more
you do the
orthogonal
S's by
to
my
the
speed.
contour
So
lines.
if you're waiting for me, you can
so
do
that
like,
we'd be moving a little bit more directly upslope. Is
really
that okay?
go across my screen, and then if I'm starting to go fast, then you can
Absolutely.
reduce
That's
that to almost
whatever
none.
the pilots
And
like to
keeps
do is
people
fine
back
with me. It's all
on shore
new
happy
geology.
because you're just always
Okay,
moving.
thanks a lot. I just wanted to make sure with you.
And,
We all felt pretty good about the revised track
and you're
line,
much more likely to actually find something in
which
the sediment.
I don't think is on any of the streams right now, but if you'd like to see it, we could probably switch out one of the streams if you'd like to see what the revised track looks like.
Yeah, searching for methane 3 years ago, that's like all we did
Oh, really?
in the Gulf of Mexico. It was
Sure,
all
put it
mud
up
like
on,
this.
let me know what
Yeah.
There'd
screen.
just be
Okay,
little
thanks.
eruptions of pools of methane with tar and shellfish around it. So we'd just search all day.
What was the density of those? Were they?
Sometimes we would go all day like this and find one or two.
Oh, okay.
So, Bob, we just put the Flatermouse scene on stream 3.
Guess
if you want
that's
to
kinda
change
unique to the
your,
Gulf,
your
maybe.
camera for a minute.
But you never
And
know. You
what
might
you'll
find a little
see is
seep out
that
here.
the
Yeah.
supposed to be
orangish
active
line is
ish.
the original track we were going to go on, and then the light blue line is a little bit more orthogonal to the contours, and that's the one that we decided to start to follow a little bit more.
Now, I would say when the ship stops, we could do another 50.
Sounds good,
Yeah.
co-pilot. I was wondering if we maybe bump it up to 0.3. If we did that with a 50-meter move, we'd be pretty much on the doorstep with another 20 meters to spare.
Okay. Sounds good.
So, Bob, can you see the Flatermouse scene on screen 3?
Yes, looks fine.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so we'll switch that back actually to the quad view that most people like. But thanks for being flexible, and I'm sorry you missed the pillow basalts. They were truly fantastic.
Did we get a sample?
We did.
So there's a tunicate just at the bottom of our screen.
Excellent.
If we could zoom in on that, that would be great.
Yep. Copy that. Watch leads. I'm just gonna.
So it looks like
position.
another one of those Culeoluses, which is a type of tunicate, and we've seen, I think, 3 or 4 for this dive so far.
All right, video. If you want to come in.
Can we zoom in a little more to see what that white thing is inside of it?
Adjusting heading.
This is definitely the dirtiest one we've seen for this dive. Maybe that means it's the oldest? I don't know. Oh, and you can see another one of the amphipods on the stalk. The ones that live in pairs, mating pairs, and have the red mouth parts that we've seen quite a couple of for this dive as well.
You already called in that one at 0.3?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Just about to.
Oh, it just stopped. I gotcha.
Yep. So it's looking to me
I'm
like
not sure I agree with my own suggestion here, but
or 090
possible that blob we saw could have been one of these things that had fallen off and was just sitting on the ground.
Okay,
yeah,
so 091
okay,
then.
I can definitely agree with that, but I definitely didn't think it was a holothurian, but yeah, it definitely could be one of these, because look at how transparent that is, and...
What if I go 092?
It was, the same kind of
That's
consistency.
Okay. We can account for that in the last 20 meters.
Covered in some
Nav bridge,
stuff.
move complete.
Thank you, Bridge.
Maybe, Chris,
All right,
that's a great
pilots,
suggestion.
I'm going to call that move in
Maybe
at 50 meter.
collapsed or something,
bearing
and you're
091,
seeing the underside
speed
of it
0.3.
with them hidden underneath it or something.
It's
I don't know.
Crazy.
Yeah, no.
I think Sean's up to it.
I think
Bridge, Nav.
there's a pretty high chance that
Might
you're
have to
right.
break 30% on the
Bridge, I'd
thrusters.
like to have a 50 meter move. Bearing 091 degrees. Speed 0.3 knots.
50 meters, 091 degrees, 0.3 knots.
All right, watch,
Good copy, Bridge.
Coming up.
Thank you.
Yes, this is great. But before we lift off, can I ask that we pan down and zoom on the seafloor, because one of our scientists thinks that she might be seeing white spots on the seafloor, like that are valves of some kind.
Down more, or do you mean on the item on the stock?
Can we go down any more?
Absolutely.
This is max zoom.
Yeah, see, this area looks pretty concreted, so not convinced about that. That's great, pilot. You can get back to traversing whenever you're ready.
All right, thank you. All right, Vidya, if you want to come out, I think we're good. Thank you. So we're going...
Nav bridge, move initiated.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you,
I'll
Bridge.
adjust my heading.
Co-pilot Nav. See that holiday on the USBL? 500 meters.
I hold you accountable. Okay, I'm locked in at about 091.
What are those squiggly things?
One sec, video. Just do a quick zoom. Yeah, if you just want to come in slow.
So this black line might be a feeding trace or something. I think it is.
Yeah, sorry, video.
It's related to biology, but and then the white that we can see on the seafloor are actually pteropod shells. So they're planktonic animals that die, and their shells drift to the seafloor and sort of form sediment and other things. So that has solved the mystery of the white spots on the seafloor. Thank you, pilot.
Okay, pilot, I am looking down on you. And moving fast.
Copy that. I'll break 30%.
You just broke 40, nice. holding 48. It's amazing.
Sirius sonar looks pretty clear.
Yeah. All right, pilot. That was a nice little burst. My camera's
interesting. It's like
about 50 degrees again.
All right.
little mini landslide.
See how quickly you can get out of any
This
danger.
is not what I
was able to
expected
pull
to
up
see
5 meters.
after
Now
the
you're up
beginning
front.
of our dive. I have to say, this is really not what I was expecting. Although a nice big flat contour like this.
Hey, Jim, don't you think this looks like the distal edge of an individual thin little, I don't know, deposit of volcaniclastic dark stuff?
I'm not sure. I can't tell if there's a, like, can't really tell if there's a little bit of a relief change there. Oh, yeah, it might be. Pilot, could we pan to the left?
Panning left, absolutely.
This is what you're talking about, Patty, right? It does look like it's like a little bit of a stair-step feature, huh?
Yeah, I think what we're seeing are a series of little
this leg of this expedition goes to
shells of positive
and they're doing 3 weeks of mapping and
material
of the
superimposed on one another.
of ROV. Yeah.
Hi, Patty. This is video. Can you please make sure to turn down your volume or
the top of this hill
just be careful that you don't have feedback in the background.
for all this stuff. But, you know, we'll find out when we get there.
Okay, pilots, we're approaching the end of the current move. And we still have about 70 meters left.
For Sirius to swing?
Well, for Sirius to meet that feature. Seems like we're laying back pretty far.
That can happen when
Patty,
you
I
do
think
the
you're right. I
faster
think there is
moves.
definitely a little bit more relief when we look at the darker pieces, not quite as defined as it was just a minute ago.
Yeah,
sort of rolling
there's
along the slope here.
0.7 of surface current going that way also.
I'm just wondering,
Okay.
get up to the top of the thing. Are we going to
Don't know how deep that goes.
2000.
Hi, everyone on the conference call. This is video.
Tyler, are
If
you
could
seeing
please
much
make sure
current?
to mute
I
your
don't
mics
think
when you're
so,
not
no.
speaking. We're getting a lot of
Nav bridge,
feedback
move complete.
on the conference call.
In University of Hawaii,
Thank you,
actually,
Bridge.
it sounds like we're hearing some of the side conversations that are occurring when you're talking
Okay,
into the
so-
telecon. So if you can just stop those side conversations, that would be helpful.
We've got about 60 meters now. So, should we do, and we've a couple minutes of swing. So, probably 30 meters of swing, somewhere around there.
You're measuring from Sirius?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so about 70 meters or so to the, well, let's measure to the edge there.
So I was
Okay,
just
so
thinking
about 50
how much I'd
meters
like to
from
poke
Sirius'
this
current
to see if it was
position.
consolidated. But I
Yeah,
know that
so you
Diva
wanna add
doesn't
on
want
another
to
20
poke
meters
anything.
or so?
poke them
Okay,
that are
for the
not
swing.
alive.
And, to just take us right over top of it?
To get Sirius over the top, yeah. So
Okay,
if there's anything there. You know.
okay. So, all right,
I
so
think
then that would
the
be
few times that the ROV has
a 40
plowed
meter
into
move.
this material, it looks pretty soft.
Well, but I still.
There's a more
Oh, I see. You
feature
think I have
over there
20
on the
meters
left.
left to swing?
Yeah, Patty,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Sure.
Okay. So do we want to come up at it at 0.3? And if we get close, I can always do a reverse move.
For such a short move, the point
Can't tell
3
whether
doesn't
they're
really matter.
flows or,
Okay.
some sort of secondary encrustation.
Go with it or go to 0.2?
Washley,
I'd just do
is there interest
0.2
to
in general.
zoom in on
It's
this?
easier on the ship.
Yes, please.
Copy.
All right. Video 1 sec.
So we're going to zoom in on a little bit, geologists. So get ready to put your thinking caps on, so we can maybe figure out what we're looking
pilots,
at.
so then I will do a
if you want to come in.
Biologists
40
too. I don't
meter
want to leave you
move.
out.
with 0.2 at 110. How's that sound?
4-0. Make
Awesome.
it,
Could we
I
zoom
would
out
make it
just
like
a little bit?
3-0. I think I still have a ways to swing.
Okay.
Just
So
to be sure.
30 meters, 110.
All right.
Okay.
So I do wonder whether these are just sort of very thin flows. Why? What are you looking
And
at?
if there were anything interesting, I should see it on sonar soon.
Did something fly by?
Copy
Yeah,
that.
there's something that's alive swimming. Oh no, I think it's
Actually,
no.
now
I think
as you're
it's
writing,
not
I'm
alive.
approaching
Forget
even
it.
closer.
I think it's just like
Flock?
mucus. Yeah, flock.
Yeah. Yeah, the swing should settle out though.
So does the extreme close-up help maybe figure out what
if
we're
we
looking
get there
at?
and there's, I mean, if there is something there, which it
The
could
white
be
thing
just
on
a
the top.
bathymetry artifact.
It could be real, but just a little lump in the.
Yeah.
Just because it's small, it doesn't mean it's anything.
Conversation in the
Yeah.
background, but
If we want to
you
stick
can hear me,
around, I could always do a
It
reverse,
looks
and
as
then
if
we'll
there's
be.
some sort of brown or
Okay.
warm
Bridge,
colored.
Nav.
This is the bridge. Go ahead.
Bridge, I'd like to request a 30 meter move,
Kind of suggests
bearing
hydrothermal alteration.
110,
I don't know, Bob, do you want to chime in? What do you
Speed.
think about this?
0.2 knots.
That's 30
I was
meters.
looking at the
110
maybe
degrees,
just a
0.2 knots.
Maybe
Washley, I might have to
Good copy, Bridge.
get out
Coming
of
up
here
now,
if we're done looking at this.
It's really tough.
Well, we're not quite to the top yet.
Washley,
but,
are we good to go?
I don't know, this stuff looks quite different
I
from
think so.
anything we've
Yeah.
seen before.
All right, video, if you want to come out.
Looks
There,
friable.
And Nav
Oh.
moved us a little more to starboard.
Did they ask us something?
It does have some kind of a nice
So,
structure to it, but
I'll just turn that
Pilot,
way
did someone
since you're
ask us
below me.
something?
Oh, sorry, Washley. I was just saying we have to move ahead with
Oh, okay.
Sirius.
Great. I'm not sure if I can support your hydrothermal interpretation, although Diva thinks so.
Okay, that's
I like Tara's comment in the event log, which is lumpy geology.
pretty close. I'm
And
at 100.
honestly, that may be just as good of a description as anything we're coming up with right
Now,
now.
bridge, move initiated.
Thank you, Bridge.
I would call that a mountain.
Now again, we're seeing those little things that almost look like they might be a little shelf or a little mound.
So the ROV is pretty much on that contour now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything there.
So, Washley, it looks like we're about at the top here. Do you have any direction you would like to go? Or just kind of look
I think
around?
we just want to keep going in the same direction because, yeah, when you zoom out on the high pack, you'll see that it starts getting steep again.
Copy that.
So we would just like to traverse across this little flat and just make our way up slope.
Perfect. We can do that.
So for those of you following along at home, if you turn on the third stream, or camera 3, I'm not sure exactly what it's called, you'll see a split screen, and one of them shows the high pack,
Yeah,
which
the
is
only thing in our
the
the only thing in my
bathymetry
sonar
and the
is
ship
T2.
and the ROV
There's a bunch of rubble off
tracks
to your
and
port.
direction. And so from that, you can see that we're pretty much sitting on mostly
Okay.
flat.
Guess it's these
Oh,
kind of
that's
things.
interesting.
Yeah.
Washley, is there any interest in this?
It's
level?
interest certainly in zooming in on it.
All right. We can do that.
This looks like a depression.
This looks more like your
So
volcanic
should we just
plastics,
cancel
Patty.
this move and just put on a
No, I think
Looks like it starts to get steep.
Yeah, I think it's volcanic classic for sure.
Yeah, I think we can keep moving now.
Keep moving. Copy that.
Yeah,
Maybe start heading a little bit south of east again.
Why not just head straight east to the first contour?
Copy that.
That seems...
So,
Deb and Bob,
should we just let this move? This move has...
source of this material, especially as we go further east, if we see more of those sort of
another 15 meters.
Yeah.
Can we zoom in on the shrimp on the left,
Let's
please?
let it finish, and then we'll realign and
I'm sorry, Patty, I didn't hear the last piece of what you were saying.
move on.
All right, video, if you want to come in slightly.
How far away is the first contour?
We look at the shrimp.
Okay.
From Sirius?
From D2.
You got stepped
as
on
do
for
from D2,
biology.
'cause that's, you see it.
So this is a type of
D2,
Caridian
it
shrimp.
is 115 meters.
Okay. So when this move is down,
This
it'll
is the
be
cute swimming
a little
one.
less than 100 away,
Okay.
I think.
I have to say, this might be my favorite shrimp so far.
They are amazing.
Yeah,
they
they're-
swim so beautifully.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
So there are a number of features that you use to tell which one it is. I am not a crustacean expert, but the rostral spine is one of them.
And what is a rostral spine? You've said
So
that a
it's-
couple of times.
So it's
What does that
basically,
mean?
on some of them, you'll see a really big spine coming out between the two eyes. So
Okay,
remember
so that's
we
the
were
one that
looking
looked
at
like a rhinoceros?
Yes.
Had a
so
large rostral
exactly.
spine?
Yeah. And so remember we were looking at a squat lobster on one of our first dives and it had
Yes.
5 of them. Yeah.
Oh, no, I actually don't remember that.
Okay. Well, we
Just
did.
show me a picture.
And as well as counting various bits of their body and other things, but they're not very easy to identify from camera.
Are these found everywhere, or are they only found in deep waters, or?
Well, so ones that look generally like this, yes, are found all over our world's oceans. And I think they generally are scavengers. So when you bait parcels and put them down, you tend to
He's
find
getting
them
out of
there,
my light pool.
sort of feeding.
I'm going to come out.
Very cool.
If we got some good video.
Thank you, pilots.
No problem.
Okay, pilots, that move's pretty much done. So, straight east.
Yeah, well, so the ship just stopped, right?
Yep.
So Sirius still has 5 more minutes or so to go.
Did you guys notice whether it had a very long rostral
Um,
spine or whether it had a short one? I just couldn't quite tell.
Of course, I didn't think there was a long one. I was looking for it, and I didn't think I saw it.
Sean's moving to
Okay,
center.
then I'm trying to remember because I
Pretty
always
clear.
get it backwards.
So I think
That
it's-
may indicate it's an Aristeid.
So I think it's if it does have a
Okay,
spine,
do you
then
wanna
it's
do,
likely a plesiopenaeus
5-0
or a
or
penaeid.
longer?
Yeah, let's keep
And
with
if it
the
doesn't,
shorter ones
then
in
it's
case
an aristeid.
a random
Maybe.
coral
Is that what you
pops
just
up
said?
or a vent or something.
Yeah, I think
Copy
that's
that.
how it goes if I got it right.
Nav bridge, move complete.
Thank you, Bridge. Okay, so a 50 meter at 090
Yeah, sounds good to me.
and 0.2 knots.
Yeah.
Bridge, nav. Bridge, nav.
This is the bridge. Go ahead.
Bridge, I'd like to request a 50 meter move, bearing 090, speed 0.2 knots.
That's 50 meters, 090 degrees, 0.2 knots.
Good copy, Bridge.
Coming up.
Thank you.
Pilot will get you to the steeper stuff for your last half hour.
Sounds good.
Nav, how long does 100 meters at 0.2 knots take?
Stand.
Nav, bridge, move initiated.
Thank you, bridge.
Yeah, and I don't mind the flatter portion either. It's nice to be practice to really feel everything.
Is this your first time going around in the flat?
For an extended period of time.
So we're just continuing to make our way across this very flat,
this is the first cruise
flat ground right here.
actually piloted though.
Yeah, it's different. It takes a while to get a feel for it.
Possibly sure. We
Should be
think we're
approximately
looking at
8
volcanic
minutes.
plastics.
Oh, that's all.
Every
Nice.
so often we see a little tiny local high that looks like it might be a ridge. That might just be a little more of a concentration of what were these deposits. Not a whole lot of biology here.
There is some just to the right. We're about to pass over it. A white.
Oh yeah.
Stalked. Well, not stalked, but
I don't think it's. Is it stopped?
no, I don't think so. Can we zoom on this when you have a chance, please, pilot?
Yeah, 1 sec, just setting up. Alright, video, if you want to come in.
Okay, so this is a Kamachalid crinoid. And it's got 9 arms, I think. Maybe it's an Antidonidae. Chris, thoughts? Thoughts past Kamachalida? Okay, that's great. Thank you, pilot. You can move on when you're ready.
Copy that. Video, when you're ready, you can come out.
So if you're just joining us, we are at Finanagu Caldera C. This is a caldera which sits in the middle of a chain of calderas, of about 6 or 7 calderas, named from A through G. And what we're investigating between yesterday and tomorrow on 3 dives is basically whether there's an age progression from oldest, which is in the south, to youngest, which we think may be in the north. And so currently today we're investigating C, and we think this is a middle-aged caldera. Yesterday we looked at D, which we think may be the oldest. Pilot, if you have a chance, can we zoom on this stalked animal, please?
Absolutely. Just
and
give me 1 second.
Tomorrow we're going to be diving on A, which we think may be the youngest of all the calderas.